Hi there, my name's Paul from Paul James Counselling, and I just want to make a short video today in regards to empathy connected with working within relationships. Empathy is a word that can be used quite a lot in the therapy world. Basically, having the ability to step into the shoes of our client and wonder what it might feel like to have their experience, to wonder what it might feel like to walk in their shoes. Now, you know, as a therapist, I don't have to agree with what my client's saying. It's just whether or not I can empathize with them. And obviously, with client work, not about whether I agree with them or not. It's about being able to walk alongside them, and a client will know when I'm genuinely doing that. And I work a lot with couples, and I see the lack of ability in long-term relationships to continue to show each other empathy. And I think there's some reasons for that. I think there can be some history to it. If we haven't seen our caregivers showing empathy, showing care, listening, understanding, it can be quite hard to then do that in our present day relationships. Also, if a caregiver has expected too much empathy from a child, you have to give me lots of empathy. We can actually rebel against that and think, I'm done with showing empathy. I don't want to show anymore. It's not okay. And our partners can remind us of our parents, and there's that part of us, because we have parts saying, no, 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 I'm not showing any empathy. There's nothing good that can come from just understanding what you're saying, showing empathy, showing care, mirroring back what I'm hearing. And this reminds me of a video clip that I've seen on YouTube. I didn't make it, but I use it a lot in my couple work, and it's the nail in the forehead analogy. And the theory goes that there's two people sat next to each other, and one person has a big long nail sticking out of their forehead. Okay. And the person sitting opposite them is listening. And the person with the nail in the forehead is saying, everyone's staring at the nail. It catches on my t-shirts when I put my t-shirt on. It makes my forehead sore. And the person that sat opposite is kind of looking, going, take the nail out the forehead. If you take the nail out the forehead, no one will be looking, it won't be sore, problem solved. And the person with the nail in the forehead is like, no, 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 no. You don't get it. People are staring. I know I can take the nail out the forehead, but people are staring, and I feel quite uncomfortable with the nail in the forehead. And the other person might be getting quite frustrated, Take the nail out of the forehead and it's problem solved. And what the other person is looking for really is for that person to just understand and empathize with what it might be like to have the nail in the forehead. What is it like for you to have the nail in the forehead? I don't agree that you should have the nail in the forehead. In fact, what I really think is you should just take it out. However, I'm going to try and step into your world and wonder what it's like to have the nail in the forehead and to not be able to take it out in this present moment. And I'm going to mirror back what I hear you. So yeah, I'm hearing that it makes your forehead sore. I'm hearing that it, people stare at you. I'm hearing it makes you feel self-conscious. It sounds horrible. It sounds horrible to have a nail in your forehead and to not, for whatever reason, be able to take it out. See the difference? Rather than just saying, take the nail out the forehead. Now, of course, it has, there's extremes with this. If we're with our partner and it's been 2 years and the nail's still in the forehead, and, we can go into enabling the person to have the nail in the forehead. So it has its limits. However, if we're never showing empathy to our partners, especially if we don't agree with what they're saying, or we think that there's action they could take that would improve their lives. If we're never just empathizing and listening, it's going to cause resentment and it's going to cause assumptions. And when we have resentments floating around, we have much less chance of empathizing. So what I would just encourage you, you both to do is to catch yourselves just sometimes. We're not going to do it all the time, and just think, do you know what? On this particular conversation, I'm not going to tell you to take the nail at the forehead. I'm not going to advise you. I'm not going to say, well, I did tell you so. I'm not going to say, well, if you do this, this would make it better. I'm not going to advise, which all has its place. But in this moment, I'm just going to step into your shoes and wonder what it might feel like. Empathy is stepping into the shoes of others and wondering what it might feel like to have their experience. Empathy, the definition doesn't say, do I agree with the person? Okay. So I just encourage you just to catch yourselves sometimes when you hear your partner talking and you might not agree, and every fiber of your being is saying, wanting to give advice, wanting to fix, and every fiber of your being is saying, empathizing is useless. Empathizing doesn't do anything. Empathizing keeps people stuck. And to just listen to what your partner's saying and to just step into their shoes. Think about that. I'm going to step into their shoes today and wonder what it might feel like for them to have this experience. And then I encourage you to watch your partner's, what their body language is like when you start doing that, how different it feels to them, and you can even ask them, I really tried to empathize with you earlier today. Did you notice? How did it feel? And just to play around with that and just to catch yourselves. You might go into old patterns and just to catch yourselves and think, I'm going to try and empathize. I'm going to try and step into my partner's shoes genuinely. When I'm working with clients and I'm not genuinely empathizing with them, they can tell. If I don't genuinely empathize with a problem that they're bringing, or if I genuinely have an issue with a political issue or, whatever issue they might be bringing, they will pick up on it. And partners do too. So if we're not genuinely empathizing with them and genuinely being curious, there's a lot of curiosity in empathizing. Wow, what's that like for you? Sounds horrible. I personally, even though I'm a therapist, which is, in my personal life, I was naturally a take the nail at the forehead kind of person. But, within my relationship, I have to literally, bite my lip sometimes because my natural thinking process is let's go to solutions. Let's look at what we can do. But what I've trained myself to do is to think, okay, my partner just needs my time in this moment. My partner just needs to feel heard in this moment. And it's magical when we get it right. So I'll leave that with you just to think about, to practice empathy, think about what it means, and catch yourselves. In long-term relationships, it's very, very difficult to keep empathy going, respect, mutual respect. So yeah, I'll leave that with you. Have a play around with it and see how you get on with the empathy. There's lots of stuff online with the nail in the forehead analogy. Just think about that. And I'll speak to you soon. Okay, thanks. Bye.